Like, it's never been this bad, mate. We were competing in the Champions League.
Oh, but hang on a minute. You said it's never been this bad over the last 20 years, but the last 20 years you've not won a trophy. If you now win a trophy, I'm struggling to realise what's going on.
You want Arteta?
I will take Arteta all day long.
Wow.
I've been saying this all season. It's not new, Errol. And, you know, I refuse to get...
Hang on a minute. You just jumped in the space. You haven't even fucking said congratulations. You can go back on mute.
No.
You need to have some manners. You need to know your place. We just bopped you yesterday. You haven't even come in here and said, yo, big man, congrats. Sit down, go back on mute before. Let the grown-ups have a conversation. Let the grown-ups have a conversation.
On my watch along yesterday, I had Doneo on Party Hard. I was celebrating. I rolled out the red carpet for you, and well done. I mean, Liverpool, what a tremendous season. And I think what was even more impressive about your season, Errol, is that you, man, didn't even have to come out of gear one. So, look, you, man, smashed it. Well done to you. But I think, and you know, I just want to thank Dan and United First and LB and everyone on this panel, because I feel like that, you know, the friendship here is so solid. All I've done, and I think you'd thank me for this, is I have put Slot on fraud alert though. That's the only thing I've done. I put him on fraud alert just in case you don't make it through the night. And literally because I'm just, as much as I'm impressed at how you did it, I don't know if he could do it again. That's it. So he's on fraud alert. Well, people see me, they'll say he's delusional, he's disrespecting Liverpool. It's not that. I highly respect Liverpool as a city and as the best team in English football. But the issue I have is that Liverpool were not challenged for this title. It was easy. And for me, Liverpool didn't have to come out of gear one. I want to know what Liverpool looks like in gear 4, gear 5, and gear 6. That's all I want to know. I want to know, when you get hit top speed, are you really about that life? And I think we will really know next season. Also, you know, I'm a big fan of Klopp. I think that's Klopp's team that's won the title. And I would like to know, when Slot has his hands on your club properly and he starts to bring in these players, whether they're the same. These are legitimate questions to ask.
I think that's it. But you can only work with what he's got. He can only work with what he's got.
And LB, you are part of the problem this season. I can't believe. I mean, what happened to your standards, bruv? You're part of the problem, LB, because look, I'm somebody. Let me just tell you where the school of hard. I'm from the school of hard knocks, and for me, Champions League means you need to be a champion. Now, your club did the 4P. Impressive. What a magnificent feat. This season, you've been panned 9 times in the league. You are the reason why Liverpool won the league. Simply you. Because had you just done or equaled similar performances to the previous seasons, they don't win the league so easily. Look, Errol, don't get it twisted. I actually wanted you guys to win the league. But it was a bloody walk in the park. And you're here shaking your bum for them. Are you not ashamed, bruv? Are you not ashamed that you were not involved? Where were you? You were nowhere to be seen. Where was Manchester this year? Nowhere to be seen. LB, you should not be shaking your bum Liverpool when you were so dusty.
How much money have you spent over the last couple of years? Where are you?
And I'll ask you a quick question, LB.
Wait a second. No, where are Spurs, man? Your dusty club is sat in like 16th position and still ain't sacked the manager, bro. What is going on, man?
I'm going to throw
your
own mud at you, LB, because me and you got beef tonight. If you win the FA Cup and Spurs win the Spurs wins the Europa League, who had the better season? Since you want to, this is what you like to do. It's all about a trophy, Dej. It's not really about league positions. It's about a trophy. Who would have had the better season, mate? Answer that question. What say you?
City, obviously.
How?
Well, first of all, you're 16th in the league, so that's not particularly great. Your players are awful. Your manager starts crying at the fans whenever anything goes on.
Is it
just
not
because you
true?
beat Bodo Glint in a semi-final?
Are you suggesting to my fellow learned friends that the FA Cup is a bigger trophy than the Europa League?
It's the oldest. It's the oldest competition in world football. The FA Cup is a bigger trophy than the Europa League.
LB, I'm going to ask you again. Are you suggesting the FA Cup is bigger than the Europa League?
Yeah.
I don't know about that one though. You know.
Pete, I think you agree with me. We're not out here giving teams, the so-called big teams, a second chance. Is that what you're asking for, LB?
But then LB,
you want a second chance after you got banned in the Champions League. You want a second opportunity.
Can I ask a question, Deji? This is something that we asked Wolfie. Well, Wolfie made a wild comment. I want to ask you because you're the king of wild comments.
Oh, stop that!
Hang on, hear me. If you get Champions League football from the Europa League this season, could you win the Champions League next season?
I mean, first and foremost, everybody has an opportunity to win, but realistically, no. But I would take it all day long because that's what rescues Spurs season. But we won't win the Champions League next season. But I would rather be in the Champions League battling against apparently Europeans' finest than be out. So I will take it all day.
Dej, let me come in. I'm not saying this because I'm an Arsenal fan. I actually agree with LB, and I'll tell you why. Because the original question was, who's had a better season, Man City or Spurs? Man City, who have qualified for the Champions League and won an FA Cup, or Tottenham, who have finished 16th and won the dustiest Europa League that they could ever have been in the history of Europa Leagues, but the Champions League teams don't even fall down from it. I would say Manchester City have had a better season because they've got Champions League and won a trophy. Would you disagree?
Well, you would say that because you're the red Tottenham, but no, I completely disagree with you. I think the fact that the Europa League we keep shifting the goalpost. I think the Europa League became something of substance when you could win a Champions League place. I used to argue back in the day that what's the point of the Europa League when you couldn't get Champions League football? Now we want to poo-poo the fact that teams don't get a second chance. If you're crap, you're crap. If you don't do your business in your group stage, why should you get a second chance at a trophy? I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that statement. And you can say what you like about Bodo Glimt or whoever Spurs is playing, and the fact United, remember European heritage there, they're in the semi-final as well. So let's put some respect on their name. It is what it is. And what I will say is this. I refuse the fact that City would have had a better season. I'll take that because I think you put forward a logical and sensible argument. But I would say our season's been on par because we achieved the same thing. We won a trophy and we got Champions League football.
So you keep Ange then, yeah?
No, because we've got standards.
You have standards. You're 16.
He must go. Ange must go even if he wins. I mean, as soon as he picks up the trophy and he goes through the tunnel, he needs to turn left as the players turn right.
So just to clarify,
we've also seen the blueprint from Piccadilly. The learned friends, Dan United First will say that they should have. Dan said that they should have sacked Ten Hag after the FA Cup. We all know that, and we saw it. We all agreed it. We said it was even shameful for Ten Hag to come out on national TV and say, that's what I do, I win trophies. They were dusty then, and we can see the fruits of that team. The truth of the matter is Tottenham is dusty under Ange. Trophy or no trophy, it doesn't matter. We know where this is heading. We are going down into the deepest dark hole if we keep this man in charge. Because like you rightly said, as much as I've bigged up the Europa League, we've been fortunate. We've been fortunate in terms of the draw, in terms of the teams that we've played, that Spurs have got where they've got to. That we are not a good team. The measure of a good team has always been the league. But you guys are the ones that told me, Dej, it don't matter about your league position. No, Dej, it's all about trophies. That's what history remembers. And I'm only throwing that back at you. So if history remembers trophies, history will remember that my club under Postecoglou won a Europa League. Okay. I know what you're doing here, and you know.
I'm just about to ask you a question.
Kudos to you if this is going to elevate you to be on Sky Sports. Look, the thing is, mate. The thing is, we can see that Spurs is not a good team. We've lost 19 times.
Well, what's happened over the last 20 years then?
Like, it's never been this bad, mate. We were competing in the Champions League.
Oh, but hang on a minute. You said it's never been this bad over the last 20 years, but the last 20 years you've not won a trophy. If you now win a trophy, I'm struggling to realise what's going on here, mate.
All right. Look, apologies, I was late on the show. But if there was an Arsenal segment on the show earlier, I'm sure you will wax lyrical and shaking your bums for Arsenal. Why are people shaking their bums for the Red Tottenham, Scots Bonnet FC, Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Who's doing that?
Because they're competing, because they're involved. I've got Arsenal fans telling me Arteta's brought them back. Arteta has got them to be a team that will constantly challenge for the title, and they love him for that. And to be honest, I'm of the same school. I would rather be challenging than be where I am now. That is the truth. So you've got to put respect.
Do you want Arteta, Reggie? Do you want Arteta?
I will take Arteta all day long.
Wow.
I would. Look, no, United first. Why are you laughing? What? You would take Arteta if he got you second in the Prem.
I wouldn't take Arteta.
No, why are you lying for?
You just said you take Arteta.
You
said you take Arteta.
I will take Arteta, yeah.
Wow.
Why not? He's got Arsenal to be competing, challenging for a title. Yeah, they haven't got it over the line. Why wouldn't you take him? He's second in the Prem. Why wouldn't you take him? The truth of the matter is we need to stop giving City this space like it's guaranteed. They were guaranteed to win the league this season and they lost 9 times. Yeah, I can see. Yes, I agree. There's been an improvement, but there's nothing to suggest that Man City is so dominant. There's nothing to suggest that Man City beats Crystal Palace in the bloody FA Cup, mate. Let's not be giving them pedestals that they haven't earned. I think Man City will be much more improved and they will lose less than 9 games next season. But I'm not giving them the Prem, and I don't think they're winning the champs. Can I ask a question? Sorry, Dan. Can you put up the predictions before the season again? Put it on the screen.
Yeah, sure. Let me take a look at it. I liked your prediction, by the way.
So, Dan, so Dan Potts, you had City, LB had City, Don had City, Billy had City, Errol had City. Yeah, even me, I had bloody City. Nowhere near it, though. Nowhere near it. Point being is we do this thing about City, we give it over to him based on what?
Based on the fact that we just won 4 in a row.
Bruv, but you fell off a cliff, mate.
Look how they've responded. They've done 175 in January. They'll spend another 200, 300 million. They're going to buy Verts. Rodri's back. Foden's dropped off. He'll hopefully be back next year.
Hopefully.
There's been so much stuff this year that's been poor from us that, like, next year should be massively, massively improved.
Special request. Can we archive this show, please?
Yeah.
I don't want this show to go missing. We need to replay the last 20 minutes of this show this time next season. That's all I'm saying.
All right, we will. We'll see where we're all at.
Postecoglou has ruined my season. Every watch along is an L. I've never seen so many L's in my life. And I just want this season to be done. All I'm hoping for, and I'm sure we're all feeling the same thing, I am hoping that by some miracle we win the Europa League. Like, legit. I don't know what I would do with myself if Spurs does not win that trophy. If Spurs does not win that trophy, that means everything that we've been through this season was for nothing. Was for absolute nothing. And the last thing I'll say, and big up to all my learned friends, is I think Postecoglou is a madman and delusional. And I say this, he genuinely thinks the players are playing for him. They're not playing for him. They're playing for themselves. You can see every time we turn up in the league, they cannot be bothered. That's what you were saying, Jay. They can't. But what the man have said is, you know what? The least we can do for ourselves is win a trophy for ourselves and become legends. I hope the Spurs players turn up on Thursday and do a job over Bozo. Because if they don't do a job over Bodo Glimt, we would have finished 17th, packed 20 plus times for nothing. I swear, Dan, if that happens, I'm Dex. He already told us. You wrote that my job is gone. He knows his job is gone. There is no way we can keep him in job. And once you've been told your job is gone, why would you give your heart? The only thing Ange's playing for is for that statement. I win in my second season, so that when he leaves, he can say, like Ten Hag, because I was telling United fans the same thing. Ten Hag did the same thing with the FA Cup. He went, that's what I do. I win trophies, despite the fact that they were fully dusty. What Ange wants to do is say at the end of the season, I told you that's what I do. In my second season, I win a trophy. But to be honest with you, that trophy means nothing. Because with this squad, what can we do with the champs? I want it, but what can we do with it? There's something about standards. I've been talking about standards. So for me, any manager worth their weight shows improvement on the previous season. That's what we're asking for. Is we're not asking to win the league. We're asking to see progress. Yeah. When Ange came in and we got 5th, that was progress on the previous season. What we are expecting is to do better than that. That hasn't happened. We fell off a cliff. You can see the job that Iriola's done. You can see the job that Marco Silva's done. You can see the job that all these other managers are doing. And Ange has not done that. I get what you're saying, but I think even under Pochettino, this team is top 7, top 8 at least.
I agree. It's the 8th best one.
It's the top 7, top 8 team. We should not be 16th, 17th. That's what I'm saying to you. If we were top 8, I'll still be pissed. I'll still be pissed with 8th, but I can be like, okay, with a few tweaks here. This is bad. This is horrible. This can't be on Levy, because I'm seeing Bournemouth with lesser man badding up the team. What's that then? Did you want Semenyo a couple seasons ago? Did you want Kirkes from the 2nd division of the Hungarian league? Come on, man. And I feel like I'm amongst friends, so I'm just gonna keep it real. This is the only place I can be real. All other channels, I'm Deji Spurs. On this channel, I'm Deji. Man, them, I can't tell you with any chest that I'm expecting a Spurs win.
Oh.
What I am gonna do though is I hope we win, because I'm not gonna lie to you. When I watched us against AZ, I went to that game. We won 3-1, but it was royally dusty. The game against Frankfurt, let's be all real. I breathed a sigh of relief, like rah, we got through it. I just want to get through. I can't lie. All this we should be winning 2-0, 3-0. If you ask for too much from these boys, they will disappoint you. Don't ask for too much. Just ask for enough. I just need to get it over there. I will take a blood clot 1-0 at home and a 0-0 at Glint. How about that?
Ooh,
just get that. Every team that have had issues with injuries when they've played Spurs, what have they done? They've done a low block and they've knocked the ball long over the top. Counter-attack. Bodo Glint are no fools. They know they're missing Mandem. So how do you think they're going to set up at our club? I can see, I didn't want to say it, I could see us drawing. Because also, I need you to tell us, in terms of clear-cut chances, in the last 4 or 5 games, what has our XG been? Like, have we created good chances to win games? Because I haven't seen it. I didn't see it at Wolves. Definitely didn't see it at Forest. Let's be real. I didn't really see it at Frankfurt. It was a pen, by the way. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? Do you know what I'm going with this? So I need you, because I know you know this stuff. Now, with that information, what say you?